All right, welcome back everybody to KnowItAllDM Entertainment. I'm KnowItAllDM. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great, hanging out, playing Empyrion Galactic Survival Star Salvage. And as you can see, we are starting a new single-player test of the game. In this test, what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be showing that it is A, possible to do single player and it'll be fun and everything, and B, I'm checking it for any potential bugs that I'm doing while I'm going through the game. So if I run into anything severely game breaking, I will, I'll be fixing it as I go along. But hopefully I've got it to a point where it's not going to be, broken or anything. I've got the settings just set at my standard settings. Everything here is set to medium and normal. The enemy difficulties are set at high and hard, and then the constructor speeds are set at fast, just so that things construct a little faster for the video and all that. Everything is set to true, so we'll be using CPU, mass, volume, all that. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start. I've randomized the seed. I'll just randomize it again, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and hopefully we won't get any errors while loading. Yay, let's go on in and see what's going on. All right, we got through the loading screen just fine, so we're not going to have to worry about that. For those of you who don't know what this scenario is, where have you been living? This is my custom scenario that I have been working on for the past couple of years, and its basic idea is that the galaxy is running out of resources. Planets and systems are very light on mineable resources, and you have to pretty much salvage a bunch of junk. All right, let's start with the PDA. Emergency situation detected. Protocol Salvage 001 has been initiated. Welcome, KnowItAllDM, to Star Salvage. In order to survive any hostile environment, the UCH has provided you with the option to undertake basic training, which once complete will allow you to specialize in one or more areas of training. Open your PDA to begin your basic training. You'll have to manually activate each topic after completing the last. I have it set so that when you come into here, you have to manually activate each additional task, or each additional chapter, really. Because some of them complete when you're in the middle of combat, and I don't want something popping up saying, hey, in the middle of combat. So, that way you can just activate it and go about it as as you want. Next chapter is personal defense. Our rewards will be a junk rifle, junk shards, which is the ammo for the junk rifle, and the next chapter. Learning to defend yourself from hostile creatures will keep you alive longer. Your survival tool has a defense mode, which is useful for defending yourself against hostile creatures when you have no other weapons. Open your inventory and equip your survival tool. Once you have your survival tool equipped, use it to defeat a spider. Alright, let's get to it then. So when you start off, there is this handy little POI here that you can come down nearby. There's another one that exteriorly looks similar to it around on mine over there. You see that junk storage? That is part of the tier 2 junk, so you can find those lying around any playfield, and they often have a bunch of useful stuff in them, sometimes not so useful, sometimes even more useful. So you want to, if you see those, you want to go and grab them whenever you can. But this POI, when you start nearby, is it's factioned so that when you flip this switch, it will be activated for 30 minutes, and each of those little red lights will show you the 5 minutes where it is, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then 30 for the whole thing. The lights will light up completely when you start it, and each light will successively go off every 5 minutes until after the last one goes off, and then you'll have 5 minutes once the last one goes off, and then the base shuts down. You will get a warning that pops up via LCD. The LCD is up on top of that. It'll pop up right here saying, hey, you've got 10 minutes left. So right now, we're not going to turn on the base because we don't need it yet. Once we start needing refrigeration, that's really the main thing we were going to turn it on for, because we can utilize this as a shower, and the weather and temperature aren't that bad. We may end up sleeping through the night sometimes, but I believe that actually runs the thing completely dead, so we're not going to worry about that just yet. So I guess we're going to start gathering up little bits of stuff here until we find a spider to kill. Alright, so this biome over here where all these rocks and dead trees are, this is called the Rubble Biome. There are 3 or 4 of them around the starter location. And they have a lot of resources in them for you to use when you get started. They've got a bunch of rocks, of course, but they also have a whole bunch of iron, copper, and silicon in the form of these surface rocks. So we're going to come through here. The downside to the Rubble Biome is that it's more dangerous. There are often spiders in here, in addition to these little crickets. Hello, Cricky, don't attack me. Please do not attack me, Cricky. Once we have a decent amount of resources, particularly iron, I'm gonna start, let's see, let's just go ahead and unlock that, because we are now level 2. We can actually unlock things. And let's get a portable constructor working. I'm going to end up leaving some of this stuff in here. Like, I'm not going to get all of the copper and everything, but I'm going to grab what I can right now, I guess. Ooh, mushrooms. Nice. You'll notice that the radiation is not really bothering me too much. The reason for that is because at 0.2 radiation, your body will actually reduce its body radiation at about the same rate as, oh, spider, as it gains it. Oh, more spiders. Alright, let's see if any of these, yeah, there's a level 1 in here. That'll probably be easier to kill than the level 3s. But, yeah, your body radiation will reduce its radiation naturally at about the same rate. Yay! Let's switch over to the junk rifle then. Let's reload. I'm going to be making a lot of these bullets. You may think they don't do as much damage as the as the initial thing, but they actually do. They do just under twice the damage per shot, but you do have to reload. But these do more headshot damage, so if I can get a good shot on the head, it's actually better. Uh-oh. Downside is they do use ammo. Fortunately, the ammo that they use is only, you only use just iron to make it. So we're gonna gather as much of that as we can. Let me go ahead and just grab a rock. I hear a cricket. Alright, we got some stone. Let's go get some of this wood. There's not a whole lot of wood, but what we do have, we're going to want to grab here and use. Now, the whole planet isn't like this, just the start biome, and a few other junkyards around the area. But this is the starter biome. It's the trash heap. And then outside of it, this planet is basically a temperate planet. It's just got a lot more radiation than normal for a temperate planet. The water table has been polluted, and so you'll notice there's a lot of radiation around the water and water-related biomes like the swamps and the marshes and such. The further away from the water that you get, the less radiation. So up in the mountains, apart from the snow-capped portion of it, and like the grasslands and forests don't have radiation. Once we get a suit of armor on, that's not going to matter as much. Alright, I think right here would be a decent place to put down a constructor for a moment. Just so that we can start getting some ammunition for our rifle. I'm going to tell it to do 10. It does 5 per. So we can do that. You'll notice that the junk rifle, I could make another one. That's the early game weapon. And it just requires steel plates and mechanical components, which in and of itself just requires iron. So, let me just go ahead and I'll take this out. And I'll just tell it to make 80 of those. Okay. It is now raining. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make custom weather. So, if you could, I would make it where it actually increases the radiation by a little bit when it rains. But for the moment, I don't know how or if that is possible. So, for those of you wondering, yes, I have looked at the update. We are currently, as I am playing this, in 1.3.4, you can see in the top left corner right there. I have looked at the updates for 1.4, and it will impact the game, not on your side, but on... Oh, crap. Oh yeah, I was injured. Fuck. Alright, let's go get our stuff. I pulled the Captain Adonis. That was not good. But I am fully healed now, which is a thing. Alright. Let's... I don't like... Hey! Hey! Oh, come on. Really? Really? Alright. Let's use our one bandage. Oh, let's use our suit. Okay. Let's just get rid of you guys. You get stunned by a cricket, it's over. They're actually more dangerous than spiders, but they're not always hostile. Really? They seriously need to lower the damage output of those frickin' crickets. Stun, sure, but don't murder. I was full health and one shot and I was dead. Alright, as long as they're far enough away, I'm not going to worry about them too much. Alright, now I can pick these up. Let's head back this way to our junk storage compartment. I just wasted that ratatouille there because when you die, you get put back at half food. So let's put this here. We'll put this here. Now I'm going to keep this here as a more semi-permanent whatchamacallit, a more semi-permanent area for this. We can start. I've got enough ammunition for my junk rifle. The junk rifle does a little bit less damage than a handheld pistol, than a projectile pistol. But it fires automatically rather than you having to click it, but it's not quite as fast. Okay, I don't think there's anything right now that I need to actually start working on. Let's go ahead, turn this on, and put all this in here. Let's go ahead and activate the next mission. So the next mission is first aid. Haha! While in combat, you will take damage and suffer other ill effects, like death. To survive, yeah, you can read it. Use your suit constructor to create bandages, and that sounds good. Okay. Looking at this, I think down this direction is where I want to go. Once we get a little further a bit away, I am going to put a storage waypoint like that. Let's go ahead and get a detector going. That's one thing we are going to need as a detector. I think on my way out here, I'm going to check out this wreckage that's back here. And we will see what we have going on there that might have some additional food. And I'll gather up resources on my way. Alright, so we've got... Alright, there's a spider's nest there in case we need to kill some spiders. There's a hover vessel that way. You can see there's a whole bunch of stuff in the junk biome for us to salvage. And there's a interesting POI out that way. let's just get this wood from here. Iron is going to be our most required resource because right now we are using it for ammo for our junk rifle. Once we can get some actual weapons, we'll use them, but the junk rifle is pretty much going to be the only weapon we're going to have. It has a lot further range than the survival tool, so maybe up close the survival tool will be better, but once we start fighting drones and such, or you know, things that we have to shoot further away, the junk rifle will be necessary. There's no ADSing or anything, it's just a basic weapon. I don't know why this is hovering like that, but okay. Can I get in here, please? Thank you. And yes, that will help. Fuel is a major concern in this game because of how rare Promethium is. But there are additional types of fuel that I created just for this game, just for Star Salvage. And we'll go through some of them later in the playthrough once we get to that point. But to start off, you may have already noticed some of the basics in our basic training tech tree, which you'll notice the tech tree is different than normal. Okay, if you haven't been keeping up with Star Salvage, the whole principle of the whole premise, the whole idea behind Star Salvage is salvage. But I've also split up the tech tree into different specializations. You've got your combat specialization, which has a vehicle and personal combat tech tree. You unlock this, it unlocks on both, so you can unlock both trees with one. The PDA will give you the required unlock points to unlock the specialization itself. And I'm gonna be working on getting different icons for this eventually, so don't worry about that. Then you've got combat, which has the weapons tree and the vehicle weapons and shields. You've got engineering, which has all of the devices required to move a ship: thrusters, RCSs, warp drives, etc. It also has a junk turret that uses the junk ammo that like your junk rifle does, so you can throw that down. It's a hover vessel that has no hover capability. It just has a turret on it that uses the junk ammo. And it engineering also, really, that needs to go in the resource gathering tree, not the engineering tree. The ore scanner is part of resource gathering, but the engineering also is the fuel processing and resource gathering tech tree. So you go into that, and that's where you can start making the different types of fuel, apart from the large fuel cells and all. I reintroduced hydrogen, and I found a workaround to make the old, what do you call it? The problem that the game had with hydrogen fuel cells. It's obsolete. It's not a problem anymore, because before you could put hydrogen into a fuel tank, pull it out as promethium, use that promethium to fuel your whatchamacallums, the hydrogen generator here, and then it would end up creating a loop of continually growing fuel that you never need to gather resources for again. Well, I made it so that when you pull fuel out of a fuel tank, it gives you a unique type of fuel called extracted fuel, because it's just fuel that you pulled out of a fuel tank. And so now when you, actually, while I'm here, let me just start grabbing some of this. Actually, or should I hold off? I think I'm going to hold off, and I'm going to salvage these with the salvage tool when I get one. Yes, let's head this way. Let's take a quick look at this hover vessel that's nearby over here. Over here. Oh, wow, it's way over there. Interesting. But it looks one that's closer that I'm not seeing. Or is this... No, this one is the closer one. Hold on. There it is. There it is. It's in view now. Okay, this is just your basic hover bike. Does it have a fuel tank? I don't know. No, it's got a generator, but no fuel tank. Alright, I'll take those. Ooh, multi-tool. Very nice. I can actually use that. I don't have to actually use a survival tool anymore. At least until this multi-tool runs out, which it rarely does. Let me just go ahead. No, I'm going to hold off because I'm going to want to utilize the parts from this in my own hover vessel. So I'm going to hold off on salvaging it. Let's head this way to the swamp. Really, I should be able to go ahead and make another portable constructor. So we've got the one back at the base, and then we've got this one. Which we are going to be using. Actually, let me flip-flop these. So I've got... This is going to be my drill, because I've got the multi-tool over here to... the multi-tool here to salvage with. I've got this as my defense, and then this as my resource gatherer. So we're good with that. What I'm looking for out here, here we go. Medical herbs. I really only need one of those right now. Eventually I will be needing more, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab more as it is. I'm going to grab whatever I can while I'm here. That is not my survival tool. I wish I could change the model to make it look slightly different, but unfortunately, I'm limited with the models that I can work with. Because I'm not a modder. I can't get models, you know, I can't make models of my own. So, alright. And there's silicon. Alright, it is getting a bit dark. So, let's see. I'm just going to focus on the iron. What we really need now is we need plant protein. So I'm going to start looking for some vegetables. Did I get some wood or did I put it all? I do have some wood. Okay, I don't need to worry about that. I see some vegetables off there in the distance. You'll notice that the radiation here is 0.5 because we are closer, and the closer we get to the water, the higher it gets. We are going to have to start worrying about looking at our body radiation, but not a lot. Because even though we're not in armor, we don't really have to worry anything about the radiation until our body radiation is at close to 1.0, because then is when we start suffering ill effects from it. And so as long as we can, ooh, there's a junk thing we can take a look at. Let me grab these vegetables, then I'll take a quick look at the junk, and we'll set up a quick constructor near there. Let me also just go ahead and unlock this, because we don't have that anywhere. Okay. So let's make one of those. We'll set this up in here. Maybe right there is a good place. And we'll put that in the middle. I forget where the cargo box on this is. I think it's under here. Yep, there we go. Okay. So let's put all this in here. I hear a cricket. I don't like crickets. Medical. I can make one of those and 3 of those, and this ought to make it up fine. I don't like not having a light. I guess I could theoretically just make a flashlight. Not that you really need it. Alright, we've got our ointment, and it's working on the bandages. While that's working, let's come out here and gather a little bit more resources to take back to the base. I am going to need to get more vegetables and food and such because, as you can see, we are slightly running low on food, but also our next mission. Alright, let's remove one of those, give me this and that, and I'll start making this in my here. I can't put that back any. There we go. We've got that making. We've made one in here. It's almost done with the second one. There we go. We've got 2. So I can just go ahead and grab all these. And then the third one, actually, let's just put that there. No, I don't have the stuff. Yay! And I got 2 health packs as a reward. Alright. Our next mission is food and hunger. One constant threat that you would-be survivors overlook is their need for food. If you don't eat, you will go hungry and eventually starve. There are many types of food that grow naturally, but none more useful than plant protein. Your suit constructor can process plant protein to energy bars, blah blah blah. Okay. The easiest but most dangerous source of plant protein is in the water. We're gonna go out a little bit and get some seaweed from the water. Okay. You'll notice our body radiation has gone up to 1. And the reason I say this is the most dangerous is because of the radiation. The radiation is extremely high. Now, I don't see any... there we go. There's some of these out here. If I can get close, I should be able to harvest it. Yeah. Without having to go underwater. So, and just going underwater a little bit. I don't know why I can't hold my breath. Okay. Once we get a suit, we can come back out here and farm all this. And that'll be a good source of not just plant protein, but also experience. Unfortunately, I can't figure out the way to modify experience based on plant growth. or on picking plants. Although, maybe I can. I know where the blocks for them are, and I know there is a command. This, I'll check it. I'll check it. But I would have to do it for each and every plant, which is annoying. All right, let's get back to this junk storage. Aha! Energy bars have been made. I'm gonna actually continue making more energy bars. Because I actually need food right now. It wouldn't have been that necessary if I hadn't died and my food been reset. All right, let's go ahead and activate the next one, claiming salvage. The galaxy is filled with junk, from derelict ships floating through space to crashed vessels and those abandoned as junk. The amount of salvageable material is extraordinary. In order to survive in this galaxy, you'll need to learn how to make the most of even the most worthless-looking pile of trash. The first step in turning trash into treasure is to claim a piece of junk for your own. In order to do so, you must first build a core using a portable constructor, which must first be unlocked in the tech tree, which I've already done. Then you must place the core on the piece of salvage you wish to claim. Once you learn to do this, you will have the necessary skills to survive. So I'll need to go make a core. I should, back at my junk storage, have a good amount of stuff. And I've got some spoilables I need to get back there for. My, the base should not yet be out of power. I'm just hoping we don't run into any spiders. Spiders come out more at night. Oh, did you see that? The ring sort of flashed. Apparently this planet has a ring that you're supposed to be able to see constantly, but I don't know. That's weird. But yeah, more spiders come out at night in the entire area, but especially in the rubble biome that I'm going through right now. Avoid getting killed by crickets. Alright. Alright. I'm not going to really stop for anything. The reason I'm not running is because that uses stamina, and stamina uses food, so it may be a bit slower, but apparently people don't like it when I do the little run, jump, stamina saver, quick movement thing, so I'm just gonna walk and be slow. Okay, now we can put these in here. Oh, I've got an emergency ration from that mission, very nice. Oh, we can put that in. 10 minutes remaining. Let's hurry. And let's get those made up. And then we're going to need to start working on salvaging something with a refrigerator. Let's just ping and see what the closest hover vessel is. This here appears to be the closest hover vessel. So let's make a core. And then let's go ahead and small devices bridge, so that if the hover vessel doesn't have one, I can put one on it, and at the very least, I can just move over to that hover vessel and put my stuff in it. Right now, yeah, we're within the 10-minute window. Once that light goes off, we have 5 more minutes, and we should be good. You'll notice that there is a fuel type here called gasoline, which you can make from oil shell. This is something that I haven't quite put in the public version of it. But you find oil shell underwater. Any rock that is underwater will have a chance to have oil shell in it. So once we get a suit, that's another source of fuel that we will be taking a look at. The gasoline has the same fuel content and everything as biofuel. It's just you can only use gasoline for small vessels and hover vessels and terrain placeables. You can't use gasoline for bases and capital vessels, but with the higher level constructors, just starting with the small base constructor, you can actually make diesel fuel, which is used in large vehicles only. So you can use that in bases and capital vessels only. And it is also made from oil shell. Oil shale. And here, the dot is not showing on the... That's very weird. See how on the map, the dot is not showing this on this hover vessel? It's showing just the direction. I thought that dots showed on the thing on the mini map, but maybe I'm wrong. Hi, Cricket. Alright, let's get over here. It appears that we have a little bit of wood nearby, just lucky. And there's a forest over there, so... Alright, so this is also just one of these. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start claiming it. It wouldn't be a bad idea to claim this as our salvage. I think the core is supposed to go right there underneath here, but I can't really seem to find a good way to get it in there. So what I'm gonna do, okay, let's just pull this. Come on. That up, and then what is that below it? Destroyed steel block. Take that up, and then we should be able to, we can get a good angle on it. Drone. Yes. Okay. There we go. Congratulations, you finished basic training. Now you're ready to choose an area in which to specialize. There are 4 types of specializations to choose from, each with its own perks. The combat specialization focuses on fighting. This specialization allows you to learn how to craft a wide variety of weapons, including both handheld and ship weapons and turrets. The combat specialization has access to the toughest armors, as well as defensive devices such as shield generators for all manner of vehicles and structures. Ultimately, you'll even be able to craft... Really, that's not even the ultimate thing. I need to change that up a little bit. what it says in the text here. So make a note, because ultimately the ultimate thing for it is actually a special CV turret. But you will still be able to make an EVA that can only equipped in combat armor. It's just super amazing EVA that even increases your combat even more. The engineering specialization focuses on construction and resource gathering. It's not well suited for combat in almost any way. The engineering specialization allows you to craft additional devices that are required for ships to fly, such as thrusters and RCSs, as well as the ability to craft vehicles from scratch without having to repair an existing vehicle. The engineer is the only one that can build hover vessel, small vessel, and base starters. The scout, the exploration, can do an exploration small vessel, but it's limited on what it can craft. The engineering specialization also allows you to learn how to craft CPU extenders, teleporters, repair bays, as well as higher tier fuel packs, all of which would otherwise have to be scavenged from junk. The engineering specialization also grants you access to a variety of tools, including the multi-tool and drill, as well as all resource gathering devices such as auto miners. Ultimately, you would be able to have a very powerful handheld drill. I hear you behind me. Alright, we're going to skip all this because this cricket is all up in my grill. Like, literally. Are there any other crickets around? No. Okay. I'm going to utilize this because it doesn't use ammo.